Hi everyone, welcome to this impromptu surprise video. I just really feel called to come up here and do a video and reading about our upcoming solar eclipse in Sagittarius happening on December 4th. In Hong Kong time, it will be in the afternoon 3:44. And it will be 2:44 a.m. Eastern time in the US, and adjust your time according to your time zone. This is our last eclipse that we'll experience in Sagittarius on this Sagittarius Gemini axis. We are closing out this 18-month cycle, this 18-month eclipse series that we've been experiencing for the past 18 months, happening on the Gemini and Sagittarius axis, because that's where our North Node and South Node has been on the past 18 months. North Node being on Gemini and South Node on Sagittarius. And I feel really strongly about this axis because this set of eclipse as well for this past 18 months, because my North Node is in Gemini, South Node in Sagittarius. I'm also a Sagittarius rising sign, and I have a stellium in Sagittarius. So this past 18 months, the sky energy really impacts me personally, my life, and I see how it played out in the collective, in the world as well. And that is also how and why I got into astrology for real this time. Really dive deep and learn more about it and study it, and to want to learn more about it, because the more I do that, the more I find everything happens up in the sky really does reflect back down onto the earth and for us individually. And that's why I feel so passionate about it and wanting to share with you all, and wanting to help everyone to navigate their own natal chart and to understand what's going on up in the sky with all these planetary energies. So let's talk about this solar eclipse that's happening on December 4th. It will be on Sagittarius on the 12th degree, and solar eclipse happens when the sun and moon basically conjunct. So we have a moment of blackout where we won't see any light, and that is why people back then were so scared of eclipses, because they cause a sudden change up in the sky, altering the light. But now we know that there's nothing to be scared about, and it is a stronger energy that's up in the sky. So, and this solar eclipse, since it's the last one that's happening on the Sagittarius and Gemini axis, is kind of like a closing out, wrapping up all the lessons that we have been experiencing, learning, navigating in our lives and as a collective for the past 18 months. So I really think it's a good time for us to take this moment to reflect on what happened in our life for the past 18 months, and what happened with the collective in the world for the past 18 months. It started back in June 2020, and as we all know, that was when our world was in a little bit of a sticky situation with the whole pandemic going on that's happening around the world. Every country is in high alert mode, and that's also when George Floyd got killed. And we can see how since then the story got developed and how it played out in the collective, how it started the Black Lives Movement, and so and so. So I think this eclipse is a good time for us to take a moment to reflect and use this time to really reflect on what happened the past 18 months. What did all this eclipse bring up in the past 18 months for us to learn or to understand? Sagittarius is, as we all know, is the bow and arrow, is the archer, and it's ruled by Jupiter. Sagittarius is this very adventurous, optimistic sign that loves learning through experience, especially through long distance travel, experiencing different culture, diving into the philosophy of the world, all the mysticism and the spiritual realm. It is also about seeing the bigger picture, looking at things in a more zoom out to look at everything. Whereas Gemini, on the opposite, is this very curious, playful energy that loves to learn everything, know everything, likes to communicate because it's ruled by Mercury. So it's very curious, like a little kid in the candy store wanting to try everything, want to know everything, and just to experience everything. Gemini has this curious mind that thinks that, well, there might be multiple truths. We don't see things just in one way. There might be different perspective, and we need to learn more and see from different angles in order to make a decision. So this is what energy we have been experiencing for the past 18 months, and I do think it does reflect on the collective. I'm not sure if you experience it in your world and in your own life as well, but we do see that many things has challenged us. Many beliefs, many things that happen in the world bring up questions to let us be curious and to be a little bit of a detective, to seek truth and know that sometimes there are more than one truth to the situation, the problem, or this event. And how can we hold space for all this different truth? And for example, we can see that the pandemic is happening around the world. Yes, it sucks, we want it to end, but at the same time, can we also try to find pockets of light and joy while all this is happening? We can see that people start to focus on their own local community, or they can learn and teach or join other community through internet, creating little communities through internet. So I really want to invite you to take a moment to reflect back on this 18 months. What do you feel like you have learned? Anything, any belief system, any tradition, or anything that no longer holds truth for you? It can be something personal or something happen in the world that come up, that challenge or got you curious in exploring more truth instead of just blindly following what you've been told or taught. Do you have a new perspective to different things now that you've reached to this end of this 18 months time? So these are also some questions that we can contemplate with this solar eclipse coming upon us. And on this day, Mercury is also right next to the sun and moon conjuncting them. So maybe we might feel an urge to communicate what truth we have been holding back on. Maybe we see that the dreams that we've been thinking about, contemplating about, it's time to speak them into existence, to speak them into reality, and maybe even start taking some action or planting the seeds of what you really want to do. And Neptune also went direct on December 1st. So the past few months might have you feeling a little bit confused, or you feel like it's been foggy. You're not too sure which direction you want to go about with things in life or in a certain area. Now that Neptune goes direct, maybe you feel like, oh, the fog is lifted and you have a more clear direction, or you have the chance to seek or gain some clarity as to what you truly want to do or start something. And on that day, Jupiter in Aquarius and Mars in Scorpio are having a square. So it looks a little explosive, a little bit of a tension there. So, but doesn't mean all bad. Of course, things can go either way, but maybe you will feel the strong urge to speak up, to take action, to start something, to really do what you want to do and to communicate, since Mercury is conjuncting Sun and Moon. So it will be interesting to see how it all plays out. And we also have this last square in Saturn and Uranus, so that will be interesting. This is just the general energy that we can all feel, but specifically for us individually, you will have to look at your own natal chart to see where this eclipse is on your chart, which house it is in. I also did a reading for the collective with this solar eclipse, so now we'll check out what it is about. So I just want to go sidetrack a little bit, not really, but just take a sidetrack and show you all the tarot cards of Sagittarius and Gemini, because I love how tarot is such a useful tool, such a powerful tool in communicating, and how it is closely related, linked with astrology. So we can see that in the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck. We can see that Temperance card is actually the major arcana of Sagittarius. You can see that it's an angel holding 2 cups of water, which water represents our consciousness. And water also is a powerful medium to connect energy. And this angel is holding these 2 cups of water, pouring them from one to another, trying to balance and tempering them. So Sagittarius is this very it's a Jupiter rule sign, so it's very vast, it's very expansive, and it's spiritual, and it just want to find truth and balance in all truth. And I really love this energy. And this other, and then we can see here the Lovers. This is the major arcana of Gemini. And actually, I know how it looks like, oh, it's about love, it's about, relationships. Yes, it can be, but actually, traditionally, it doesn't mean, it is not called the Lovers, it's actually called the Choices. And we also do use this meaning when we're reading cards too, when we get this card It's about the duality, making a choice between the two. So as I explain it, we can also see how these energy is being played out individually as a collective in the world for the past 18 months. We're trying to find a balance, to seek truth, and to step out to look at the bigger picture of what's been happening around the world, or in a particular country or places, regarding to a lot of things that we have experienced. And mainly it's all about how can we find truth and seek truth, and to not be very one-sided or subjective, but to look at the bigger picture, to balance out everything, and in order to balance out everything so that we can make our own judgment and choice as to what's right, or what's true to ourselves, right? So I just thought it's very interesting. That's why I want to share with you guys. Hi. So this is why I really decided that, oh my God, I have to come up here and share this reading with you all. I mean, look at the cards. We're doing a reading for the collective about the solar eclipse, the new moon in Sagittarius, and look what card come out. A new moon card, and the new moon in Sagittarius card came out. I mean, cards never lie, and the energy never lie. When they come out, I was like, oh my God. At first, I didn't even see this card because it was hiding behind this. So I thought only one card came out. And then when I took it, I was like, oh my God. So yeah, excuse my excitement. That's why I really want to share with you all what I got here. So when I was doing this reading, I asked, please let me know what is the collective letting go of as we're closing out this 18 months of eclipse series that's been happening on the Sagittarius and Gemini axis, and what are we embracing? So what are we releasing and embracing, and additional oracle messages, advice for the collective. So we can see that on the releasing part is that, yes, this 18 months has been challenging. There's a lot of uncertainty. There were times when we were just confused, scared, not sure where the road is like ahead of us, and we feel like we can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and we're all navigating this together, and it's been, you know, not the easiest ride. And through that, we also, for the past 18 months, find truth in ourselves, or seek truth for what is true to us individually and as a collective. And we have been letting go or readjusting or questioning our own sense of truth to everything that's been happening. And as we do that, we'll see the road ahead of us a bit more clearer. So we will know what we're looking forward to as we closing out this 18-month cycle and beginning a new cycle as the nodes move into Scorpio and Taurus very soon in end of January. It will bring up a new 18-month eclipse series that will happen in Taurus and Scorpio to bring us another set of lessons again. So as we're gaining some new truth and finding some new passion or new creativity that within us, to how to navigate these past 18 months, maybe because of certain restriction on travel or the way we go about life. It also brought us a new light, a new sense of passion and creativity, things that we can do. Like I mentioned earlier before, we can focus more on our local environment, our community, or to actually create our own community online. We see a lot of Zoom circles and, people hosting little events or even online classes, so on and so forth. And this is how we how we see the light from the darkness as well, and we begin to look forward actually to the new possibilities. So what are we embracing as this 18-month cycle is wrapping up on Sagittarius and Gemini? We learned that we can actually be very self-sufficient when we look deeper and pay more attention to our own surrounding. That maybe we don't actually, even though of course I know, even though we all love traveling, we all love to have that freedom to go anywhere, anytime without any restriction or so and so forth. But we can also find sense of joy in our own surrounding, and we actually have everything we need within our surrounding, that we don't need to constantly seek them from another country, another place. But of course, it would be nice. And we also, from what we release, we also gain a sense of emotional stability from things we have learned for the past 18 months. And maybe there has been areas in life where we need to readjust what is true to us, no matter what area in life that happens for you. But we learned that maybe some of the old beliefs, some of the old system, tradition, or whatever that it is that you believe in actually no longer hold truth to you, and you seek a new sense of truth within you. And now maybe you redefine something and you find your own truth as well. So this is what the reading is mostly about. And then the oracle cards that I got really embrace the solar eclipse in Sagittarius. It is a new moon, so it is all about while releasing, wrapping up a cycle, we're also simultaneously beginning something new or starting or planting a seed. So as we are closing something out, a new start is coming. We might have projects that we want to start. Maybe now that we're wrapping up the 18-month cycle, we have new insight as to how we want to move forward. Maybe there's some area in your life that you want to take some new direction, or you would like to start anew, readjust, or something totally new that you want to pursue and do. And a fiery climax approaches does speak to the square of Mars and Jupiter. We might see hopefully nothing bad happen, but I did say that it does bring that little bit of fiery tension or sudden action. So you might feel an urge to take some action or speak some truth or regarding to some area in your life. And then I got this oracle message, card number 20, imagine, and 20 breaks down to 2. 2 is the number of duality, which is really resonating the energy of Gemini, the twins, the duality, but also the tarot cards of Sagittarius, the temperance, tempering the 2 cups of water, which is our consciousness. And imagine the new moon, the solar eclipse, while there's darkness in the sky, it also provides that space, that moment of space for us to imagine all the infinite possibility in the unknown, to to our dreams, to what we want to start or do. So it is really a magical time as well, in my own opinion. And I also want to, and come on, see, there's a moon here. Also, this card is full of blue, which just reminds me of Mercury, reminds me of Mercury, which is also the ruler of Gemini. Mercury is also conjuncting the new moon solar eclipse, which is about opening up that portal of communication. So maybe if you have been wanting to communicate something to someone, it is a good time to do that. And it also reminds me of how Neptune goes direct on December 1st. So this light just come up and light up the sky and lift up the fog where you might have been feeling for the past few months when Neptune is in retrograde, where you feel like you can't really have a sense of direction, clarity, and you might been holding up to make some kind of decisions in life, in particular area of your life. Now that this new moon is here, it kind of give you that little push and give you that momentum to really move forward and to go for it. So I also want to read from the guidebook, this oracle message number 20, Imagine. Turning imagination into manifestation, creative thoughts, visualization, the power of aligning imagery and feelings, creativity, illusions. Who do you want to be? What do you need to believe in order to have the life you want? You were gifted with the power to imagine. If you can dream it, you can create it. This is the time when your imagination is the key to manifesting the life you desire. Spend time daydreaming, fashioning a vision board to help you to see your goals, or meditating. Allow the power of your creativity to deliver images of what feeds your soul. Then allow your feeling to mingle with your inspiration and imagine these feelings being real right now. Then repeat. When you imagine, what you imagine become your belief, and soon you will see these things come to pass in the outer world as if by magic. I always think that if we can dream it, we can have it. It's just a matter of believing it. So I really like this energy, and it does bring out the energy in Sagittarius and Gemini as well, because Sagittarius is a very optimistic sign. It believes that everything is possible. So it really resonates with the energy. And I draw some spirit animal cards, oracle cards. Card 50, number 50 breaks down to 5, means changes. So for the past 18 months, for sure, we experienced a lot of changes in life and individually, of course. And when I see this card, overcome any obstacles, I really feel like that when an obstacles appear in our life, it is not here to beat us up, or to make us feel any way negative. Of course, sometimes obstacles can be really hard to overcome, and we might feel upset or angry or impossible to overcome, but there's multiple ways to overcome an obstacles. It's just a matter of how you see it, right? So I feel like this card is reminding us that yes, we have a lot of obstacles over the past 18 months, but look how far we have come. We're still standing here, breathing, living. So don't give up if you're facing some obstacle in life. Hopefully this solar eclipse energy will bring in some positivity and propel you to move forward and to overcome your obstacles. Card 54, Skunk Spirit, know your worth. So 54 breaks down to 9, which is overcoming a cycle, closing out a cycle, which is very significant from the solar eclipse, because we're closing out this 18-month cycle with this last eclipse, but also beginning a new cycle as well. So this number is quite significant. Know your worth. I think this is one of the many lessons for the past 18 months in this crazy, beautiful, amazing world where there's a multiple truth, a multiple languages, way to express yourself, and so on and so forth. How do you find your identity, and how do you find your worth within all these? I think it is hard to let everyone agree on only one thing, but I think it is important to know who you are, where you stand, what is truth for you, and what is your self-worth. And not everyone will agree with you, but you finding your own truth and standing up for yourself, standing up for your truth, you will also find people that resonates with you. You will find your soul tribe and people that agree with you, that share the same beliefs in you, and be able to understand and hold space, understand that there are multiple truths and they can coexist in this world as well. And the last card, 56, Spider Spirits, make your dreams real, which really resonates with this, I think. Imagine all the possibility in the unknown. 56 breaks down to 11, which is a master number, also breaks down to 2, which is again the duality, which, yes, I'm a little bit of a numerology. I just find it very fascinating. That's why I like to share. I really think spider is a pretty magical creature in a way, because I mean, this little creature is weaving a whole big web, and it all started with a single thread, but throughout the whole process, while it's weaving the web, it doesn't know what the web will look like, the whole thing will look like, but the spider doesn't care. It just keep doing what he's doing. He just keep weaving it with a single thread, continue to do this job, believing in the unknown, trusting that luck is on its side, that the dream can come true, that everything is possible, that this single thread will be able to weave a whole big web that will allow the spider to capture to capture any little insects that go past it in order to, you know, get food. But I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on how the spirit of the spider, believing in the unknown, believing that as long as the spider keep doing what it's doing, believing dream, a whole single a single thread can be weaved into a whole web. So I just find it very magical, and I hope this reading resonate with you in a small, big way or any way. And feel free to give me comment and see if any of these message resonates with you. And I'm sending you all so much love. Happy new moon, and take time to spend a little bit time with yourself on this solar eclipse. And since it's on the sign of Sagittarius, which is a mutable fire sign. If you would like to do a little simple ritual, a fire ceremony will be fun, but of course it's not possible to do it everywhere. And you can totally do a little simple ritual by lighting a candle, which is a fire, right? So you can do some candle gazing, fire gazing, look into the candle and meditate. And when you look into the flame, you can just tell yourself or speak it out loud. What would you like to let go? What have you been learning the past 18 months? The lessons that you have learned, new things that come up for you, things that you have let go, and things you would like to start as we closing out this cycle, but also starting a new cycle. So I hope it helps. Thank you.